friends, this is Tuesday, June 5th, and I thought I would do a day in the life, but also include in it what I eat in a day that goes along with the Trim Healthy Mama program. Someone asked me if I would do that because they were interested in learning more about the Trim Healthy Mama program. I'm not going to bore those of you who are not interested in that, but I'm just going to insert, when I show what I eat, how it is Trim Healthy Mama friendly. For those of you who would like to learn a little bit more about Trim Healthy Mama, I did do a video on it a while back, and I will link that video in a card above. I am by no means a Trim Healthy Mama expert at all. I'm still learning, and I'm still having to read the book when I get confused. And I also have to do things a bit differently than a lot of people because of my IBS. I cannot follow the program 100% like a lot of other people can, but I've still been able to find success in doing it to the best of my ability. So this is my breakfast today, and this would be a Trim Healthy Mama E, which stands for energizing, and that is because it is high in carbs, low in fat. Now for an E meal you can have a little bit of fat, but you need to keep it around 5 grams if you possibly can, which equals about a teaspoon of fat, unless you're using MCT oil, which you can use up to 2 teaspoons of that. I have a recipe on how I do my overnight oatmeal, and I can leave that in the card as well. The only difference in this than in my recipe that I have is that I just put a sprinkling of nuts on top, because in an E setting you only want to use nuts for garnish, and I used stevia in here to sweeten it and not sugar or coconut sugar. Now these are not really on plan. You're not really supposed to eat nuts in an E setting, and you're not really supposed to eat dried fruit at all. But I take these as kind of a medicine, and once the Brazil nuts are gone, I'm just going to start taking a selenium capsule, because I take these every morning with my breakfast, and I almost always eat an E breakfast. It's just easier for me. And these prunes, I'm only eating 2, and there are no sugar added, so it's kind of just a dried plum. So you can't eat fruit in an E setting, and since these do not have any added sugar, and I'm only eating 2 of them, I think that they're still on plan in an E setting. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to eat these anyway because I have to in order to keep my digestion going properly with my IBS. And then with my coffee, it is sweetened with stevia, and I use the Sweet Drops. These are the best that I've found as far as stevia goes. The creamer I use is not an on-plan creamer because it does have added sugar, and you really are supposed to stay away from sugar as much as possible. And they recommend that you use half and half, which I cannot use. And if I were to do that, then it would throw my coffee into an S setting, because half and half is very fat, very fattening. And this silk creamer has very, very little fat. I mean, very little, almost none. And because of my problems, this is the creamer I have to use. Now, I've tried doing my coffee with just unsweetened cashew milk, and I just don't like it at all. So I am willing to stretch the lines a little bit and use this even though it has sugar in it. I always put 1 teaspoon of MCT oil in my coffee every morning because there are so many health benefits to this, and like I said, as long as you use 2 teaspoons or less, you can still work with an E setting. And then the other thing I put in my coffee is collagen And I also put my fiber, which I don't have that to show you, but it's just my fiber for my IBS. And both collagen and fiber are used in any setting. You can use them in an S or an E or a fuel pull, which is a FP. I think that is enough of an explanation of my breakfast for Trim Healthy Mama. I'm going to go ahead and go enjoy this, and then I'll bring you back when I'm getting my work done for today. Well, it's time to do my morning chores. Beautiful day as far as temperature, but it's a little cloudy. I don't know if it's going to rain today or not. Doing the chores in the summertime is so much easier than in the winter. It only takes me about 10 minutes usually to do chores in the morning. First thing I do is I come and I let Jenny out of her overnight enclosure. She spends the summer out here, and I lock her up in this little shelter whenever we're not home, or if we're overnight, because she's my special little chickie, and I don't want anything to happen to her. But she'll come out on her own timing. You can see how she really scratches up the dirt out here. And all of this is because of bird seed. Fed the birds in the winter, and all this lovely grass is growing. Here she comes. Hi, babe. Hi. I love listening to chickens when they talk like that. Sometimes they get to squawking and carrying on like something bad's happening. I hate that because I don't know what the problem is. Happens at least once a day. And some of the chickens around here start making a ruckus. Alright, lady, I'll bring you some scratch in just a minute. Why don't you eat that grass? Because Travis doesn't come inside your pen to mow. I've been pulling some of this to give to my other chickens, too. I'll go do the rest of our chores now. Olivia and I worked last week and got all of the tarps off of here. We tarped this north side in the wintertime to keep the animals more comfortable. And Olivia and I got all the tarps taken off. Come on, guys. There they go. In my Clean With Me video where I cleaned out the duck pen, I had let these two ladies out in the general population with the rest of my ducks. They were, if you remember, they were over here segregated from the rest of the ducks, and they seemed to be doing so well, I decided to just go ahead and let them out. Well, within a matter of 24 to 48 hours, they were both limping really bad again because those darn drakes won't leave them alone. So I moved them over to this side because we have this end tarped real well. This tarp we put up for the winter, but I decided to just leave it up because it does provide more shade for the summer. And then we put one tarp about halfway down on the south side so that they have shade in here all the time. And then of course they've got the tarp on top. But after I had them back in segregation from the rest of the ducks and away from the drakes, within about 2 days they were up on their feet walking again. Because they were down and they couldn't really even walk without limping. They just kind of scooted, and I had to get them back where they could have a better chance of recovering. So put them back in here, and I just changed their water yesterday. and they muddy it up so fast. I need to change these 2 pools today, and I changed the water in those pools yesterday. So they have so many sources of water that I don't generally clean all of the pools out at once. I kind of try to split it up, not only because it's less work on my water pump, but it saves me some time as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hose and clean these 2 pools out. We have some wrens that they use this birdhouse every year, and I'm sure there's babies in there because the mom is right up above in one of the branches, and sometimes she'll just chatter and chatter and chatter at me to tell me to go away. She's just sitting really quiet right now. I've not been feeling too great since Friday night. My IBS has flared up, and I've been really trying to figure out what in the world caused it, and I think I figured it out. I've been eating these low-carb Joseph's brand pita breads because they are Kim Healthy Mama friendly, and I thought I checked the ingredients to make sure it didn't have something in it that would upset me, but I double checked and it has flax seed in the ingredient list, and flax seed just absolutely tears me up. I cannot eat anything with flax seed or even ground, like flax seed meal. Can't eat it, can't do it. And I've been eating these like every day because I thought they were safe, and the first few days I didn't have any problems at all, and then just suddenly on Friday night started feeling bad, and I have been struggling, and this is Tuesday, so this is my 4th day of just not feeling good at all. And I am feeling better. In fact, I felt pretty decent last night before I went to bed. But then when I got up this morning, I wasn't feeling very good at all. And I took one of my prescription pills, and it's helping, but I hate taking those. I only take them as a last resort. And I'm supposed to take them every 6 hours, but I'll take maybe 1 or 2 in a day. So, 24 hours apart or 12 hours apart. Because I just really, really, really hate taking medicine. And I don't want my body to become dependent on those things either. I mean, they're not habit forming in the sense of like a narcotic, but, my body might come to depend on them to keep the cramps from happening. But anyway, every time I do anything different in my diet, this is what happens. I have an IBS flare, and even though I really haven't changed my diet all that much, I have cut out all white rice, white bread, white flour, white potatoes, because on Kim Healthy Mama, you're not supposed to eat any of those highly carbohydrates that are not, I don't know what you want to say, complex. They're just simple carbohydrates, and you're supposed to stay away from them because they turned into sugar so fast in your body. But every time I switch my diet, this is what happens. And I know that eventually it will regulate itself and I'll you know, not have so many problems, but in the meantime, it's so miserable. It is so miserable. I know a lot of you that watch me have IBS, and so you know what I mean. It's just, it's really, really hard to even be positive about anything or have a good opinion or outlook on life even when you're feeling lousy for days after days. And when my IBS flares up, sometimes it takes 2 weeks for me to start feeling better. So it really, really stinks. But needless to say, I'm going to be reading every single package label closer from now on before I buy anything. Live and learn. You think after, how many years have I had IBS? It's been diagnosed for about 15 years, but I had it even before that. At least 25 years I've had IBS. You'd think I'd know by now. But you know what? Everybody just makes mistakes sometimes. I'm going to get through this day, and I'm going to try not to be negative about it. And just keep rubbing the essential oils on my tummy. That definitely helps. Alright, well, my chores are done for this morning. I've got them fresh water and got them food, and I've been hearing rumblings of thunder, so we might be in for a bit of a storm. Doesn't look too awful terrible right at the moment, but don't know. We always can use rain, that's for sure. It was so dry for a while, but we got, I don't know how much rain we got, but it rained for like 2 or 3 days last week in a row, so that definitely helped. But we live on a sand hill, so it dries out really fast. Yep, now I got to get in the house and do my Tuesday chores, which is cleaning the bathroom. Times a year I go through my makeup caddy and clean everything and throw things away that are expired, and I thought today would be a good day to do that, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean this out, and I'm also going to wash my makeup brushes. So here they are, all nice and clean. I'm just going to leave them on this towel until they're thoroughly dry, and then I'll put them back in my makeup brush holder. We are having a roast chicken in the crock pot for dinner tonight. This is one of our home-raised chickens, and it weighed 6 pounds, 11 ounces. I wrote the poundage on the bag just so I knew. I like to keep track. And I always cook my chickens breast side down in the crock pot for 2 reasons. The breast is the biggest part of the meat, and it takes the longest to cook, so it cooks faster. And also, this chicken will produce a lot of juice, and the breast will be down in that juice the whole time it's cooking, and it stays nice and moist and tender. And so I just flopped it in my crock pot. I got it set on high, and I'm just going to add some seasoning. We've been really enjoying this. I like it on, I've been putting it on everything actually. I mean, everything savory. I don't put it on ice cream or anything like that. But meats and potatoes and vegetables, this is so good. And I got this at Aldi, and I'll probably be picking up some more because I've already used half the jar. So I'm just going to liberally sprinkle this all over this chicken. I love garlic. Garlic is so good for you. And then I've got some dehydrated onion. I've gotten this from Thrive Life Foods. I really do enjoy their dehydrated onions. I don't buy much from that company, but I do like their dehydrated onions. And then I've got some thyme, which is almost all gone. I need to get some more of that. Love thyme. Oops, a little heavy on it, but that's okay. And then I'm going to throw in a few bay leaves. And I'm not really going to add any more salt yet because this garlic and herb has salt. But I am going to add some garlic salt. And this is the garlic salt I use. And I'm not going to go, I mean, this is a big chicken, but I'm not going to go too crazy on the salt. You can always add more salt, but you can't take it away if you put in too much. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the lid on this and let this cook all day on high, and it should be perfect and ready to eat by 5 o'clock tonight. This is the Thrive Life onions that I was talking about. These are freeze-dried. And they're really, really good. And this is a 2.3 pound can, and I can't remember how much I paid for this, but it has lasted and lasted. If you don't open the Thrive stuff, it can, I think it's got a shelf life of like 25 years or something like that. But then once you open it, it still has a really good shelf life, depending on the product you buy. I think the onions would be good for, I know, for at least a year, but probably longer than that as long as there's no moisture that gets in the can. But this can is way too big to keep up in my cabinet, so I just use this little canning jar and I fill it up when it gets low. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with my Thrive freeze-dried onions. I thought you guys might want a little update on this little guy. Look how feathered out he or she is. As far as I know, he is 11 days old. He could be 12, but we've had him for 11 days, and I'm pretty sure we got him when the day he hatched, or she or he. We're hoping for a she, but she's, I'm just going to say she. She is really feathering out, and pretty soon she's going to outgrow this little brooder thing I have her in. I ended up having to put this grate on top because she was jumping up so high that I was afraid she was going to jump out. So I have this little grate that I keep on top of here. She is out of food and her water is horribly disgusting. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of her and make sure she has plenty of clean food and water. And in the next day or two, I'm going to completely clean this cage out and put fresh newspaper down, and I don't think she's going to need any more wood chips because I think the danger of splayed leg is past. So this is what I'm having for lunch today. This would be a Trim Healthy Mama E because it has brown rice, so that makes it higher in carbs. And this is stir fry that we had for dinner last night, so this is just some leftovers. It's chicken and vegetables, and I fried it in just a couple tablespoons of olive oil and sesame oil to keep it in the E range. And then of course I'm eating it on top of some rice. I'm going to be sprinkling on some cayenne pepper because I like my food a little spicier, and then some of this low sodium soy sauce. If you wanted to turn this into an S meal, you would omit the rice and add more oil when you saute the vegetables and the meat. And then as a drink, I am brewing up some of this Country Peach Passion herbal tea, and once it is cooled down a bit, I'm going to add it to this glass and add some ice, and I'm going to sweeten it with some of this stevia sweet leaf powder. Well, we are in the truck and we are on our way over to the cemetery where my mom is buried. That's about 4 miles from our house. When the weather's not too hot or, not too cold, Olivia and I like to go over there and take walks because it's nice, paved, smooth places to walk. There's no dogs or any of that kind of stuff. So this is a perfect day for a walk. So we're heading over there, and Olivia is driving. Pray for me, folks. No, actually, she's pretty good, but she's still just a beginner, and it makes me a little nervous. So we're here at the cemetery, and it's not a big cemetery at all, but a lot of people I know are buried here because I lived in this area my whole life. And so when you live someplace for that long, you know a lot of people. Especially since my dad was the pastor of the local church. A lot of the people that are buried here are people that I knew growing up. This is something new. I have never seen the ground prepared for the coffin before. Now, I don't know, obviously I don't know who's going to be buried here. They have to pour a cement, I don't know what you call it, vault, I guess, before you put the casket down in there. So we're back from our walk, and it was really nice. It was a nice breezy day, and it wasn't too hot. So we took a good half-hour, 45-minute walk. And now I'm going to have a little bit of a snack, and I'm going to start working on editing this video so that I can get it uploaded tonight. Day in the life videos are fun to make, but they are a lot of work to edit. But anyway, I'm going to have just 3 little pieces of this 72% dark chocolate for a snack. It is not Trim Healthy Mama. They prefer you to eat 85% or higher. And I did buy an 88% cocoa dark chocolate of this same brand. And I already ate that, and it was really good. I mean, if you're a milk chocolate lover, you wouldn't like it because it's slightly bitter. But I liked it, and so next time I go shopping, I'm just going to get the 88% because I want to stay as close to Trim Healthy Mama as I possibly can. And then I've also got my drink here of my peach tea. I didn't take it with us when we went for our walk. All right, I'm going to get to editing on this computer. And this is what I had for supper. I had that chicken that I cooked in the crock pot. I had a little bit of rice with just a tiny bit of dairy-free butter on it and some green beans. So this will be a Trim Healthy Mama dinner. All right, friends, I think I'm going to close this vlog out here. It's already run past 30 minutes because I've been editing it as we go through the day, and so I don't want to make it any longer than that. Our plans for this evening are going to be enjoying America's Got Talent, which is our favorite summertime show, and so we'll be watching that. I might have a snack later. I don't know. It depends if I get hungry or not. And if I do, it will be a muffin in a mug, which is an S in Trim Healthy Mama. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat any snack, but that's what I've got planned. I really do need to eat more S meals because that helps with it helps with the whole program to change it up and not just eat one type of meal all the time. I did want to add as a side that so far in 2 weeks that I've been on Trim Healthy Mama, I have lost 5 pounds. So that is really good, and tomorrow's weigh-in day, and I'm hoping for at least another pound. But we will see. Thanks so much for watching, friends, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.